Welcome back to New Day Northwest. Black history and music unite in a powerful concert happening this weekend at the Paramount. It's called Songs of Black Folk, Music of Resistance and Hope. Here with the preview is Josephine Howell.
Go out and tell the story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And say to those who blamed us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black and white. And I would not lay down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell the story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And tell them in our battle we were not the only ones. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. You see, a sword can be a sermon or the power of a pen. Teach every child to raise their voice. Then my people, then can justice be denied? 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell the story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. For when they hear you, we shall be free.
Woo. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. All right, if y'all have chills from head to toe right now, you are not alone. I am joined now by the group's executive director, Reverend Dr. Leslie D Braxton. What is Songs of Black Folk all about?
Songs of Black Folk is essentially about how the African music tradition jumped the Atlantic via the slave ships and settled into the soil of the daily lives of an enslaved people of African descent whose music became the soundtrack of their existence and evolved into many different musical genres, from spirituals, field songs, jazz, blues, R&B, funk, pop, hip hop, even spoken word. But each genre, if you do a DNA sampling, functions in two ways. One, a tool of political resistance, whether it's civil rights marchers saying, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, or Harold Melvin saying, wake up everybody, the world ain't gonna get no better if we just let it be. And a source of hope, like the civil rights marchers saying, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome one day, or Tupac Shakur saying, keep your head up.
Yeah. The beauty of weaving in the history, when the show happens, there will be all that different music that you mentioned, right?
Absolutely. The diversity of music will also display the versatility of the performers, some who will be singing classical, like Jacqueline Echols, Solomon Howard, who are then going to come right back and also be singing some R&B and some jazz, because, you know, African people don't dichotomize between sacred and secular. That's more European. African people believe in the fluidity of life, like Josephine Howell, who sings gospel music, but then also sings jazz and R&B and everything else, because life is fluid like water. It has no boundaries and bounds. So all of this type of music is going to be heard.
When you're telling this story through this music,
Absolutely.
which is so powerful, how do you weave in the history through all this music?
Well, because I believe if every book on African American history or on American history that speaks of the odyssey of displaced African people in American society, if all those books were lost and all you could gather up was the lyrics of our songs, you could virtually reconstruct our history through those lyrics. It tells you of our struggle. It is the narration of our odyssey.
Before I let you go, who are some of the other featured performers? Obviously, Josephine is going to just give everyone the chills all night long, but you've got other amazing performers.
Special guest Darren Atwater, who is the founder of the Soulful Symphony in Baltimore, the longest running PBS show in history, a generational musician. Solomon Howard, Jacqueline Echols, 3 Grammys between them in classical music. Solomon is also a world-class percussionist. Then you have James Conner, who's from Seattle, product of Total Experience Choir, who was trained at the Berklee School in Boston, working for MGM, one of the most talented people I've ever seen in my life. He'll be returning for a second year like Solomon. But then you also have Crystal Akins, who was the winner of the first Sunday's Best with Kirk Franklin from Tacoma. She will be in the show as well. So
much talent.
So much talent.
So much talent in this. Thank you so much. Thank you to you, Josephine, for bringing your beautiful talent today. Thank you for sharing this. And y'all, you can watch Songs of Black Folk, Music and Resistance, Music of Resistance and Hope this Sunday, June 18th. Visit the Paramount Theater's website for tickets right there.